Welcome back to All Old Rare Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Today, we're revealing some coins that could be worth way more than you think. Stick around to find out. New here? Like, subscribe, and let's dive in. We're diving deep into a fascinating coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike, the 1949 U.S. Liberty Wheat Penny. You might think that this coin, part of the famous Wheat Penny series, is just another piece of history, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Stick around, because we're about to explore the story behind this particular coin and how it could be worth an astonishing amount of money today. The U.S. Liberty Wheat Penny, issued by the U.S. Mint, is one of the most iconic and beloved coins in American history. The Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, is widely recognized for its classic design and historical significance. The reverse side of the coin features two stalks of wheat, which symbolize the country's agricultural roots, while the obverse shows the profile of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history. The 1949 version of this coin was minted in a time when the country was recovering from the aftermath of World War II. The economy was booming, and the U.S. was seeing an era of growth and stability. However, this coin from 1949 holds much more than just historical importance, it also holds tremendous value for today's collectors. But why is that? What makes the 1949 Liberty Wheat Penny so special? First, let's talk about the production of this coin. In 1949, the U.S. Mint produced a large number of these pennies. It was not an uncommon year for the Wheat Penny series, and millions were struck. So, it might surprise you to learn that a coin from this year could fetch such a high price. But the key here is rarity and condition. The 1949 Liberty Wheat Penny is particularly valuable due to a few unique characteristics that set it apart from other pennies minted during the same period. One of the main factors contributing to its high value is the number of surviving coins in uncirculated condition. Most of the 1949 wheat pennies that were in circulation saw heavy use over the years, and as a result, they are worn, scratched, and often damaged. Finding a coin in pristine or near-perfect condition is a rarity, which makes those in excellent shape highly sought after by collectors. Moreover, certain variants of the 1949 wheat penny have been discovered with minting errors or unusual characteristics, further driving up their value. For example, some of these coins may have slight misprints or die errors, which can make them even more desirable. These rare variants are prized by collectors for their uniqueness and scarcity, and they often fetch far higher prices than regular issues of the same year. Now, let's take a moment to look at the design of the 1949 wheat penny. The obverse features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, who became the first president to appear on a U.S. coin when the wheat penny was first introduced in 1909. The reverse side, with its iconic wheat stalks, symbolizes America's agricultural heritage and the hard work that built the nation. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, has stood the test of time and remains a powerful reminder of the country's values. But what really makes the 1949 wheat penny special is not just the design, it's the demand among collectors. As time goes on, fewer and fewer of these coins are in mint condition, making them increasingly rare. The value of coins is often determined by their condition, rarity, and desirability among collectors. As collectors look to complete their sets or find rare gems to add to their collections, they are willing to pay a premium for high-quality examples of the 1949 wheat penny. So, just how much can a 1949 U.S. Liberty Wheat Penny be worth? If you happen to have a 1949 penny in uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, coins that have been carefully preserved and kept in excellent condition can be worth tens of thousands of dollars today. But for the truly rare specimens, especially those with minting errors or other unique features, the value can skyrocket. If you have one of these rarer coins, you might be looking at a price tag of $145,000. That's right, $145,000 for a single 1949 Liberty Wheat Penny in top condition. It's hard to believe that such a seemingly humble coin, which once circulated among the masses, could now command such a staggering price. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. What was once considered everyday currency can, over time, become a coveted treasure. So, if you happen to have a stash of old pennies sitting around, or you come across a 1949 wheat penny, it might be worth taking a closer look. Make sure to examine its condition carefully, and if it's in great shape, or has some unique characteristics, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know when you might stumble upon your very own hidden gem. Second rare coin, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1945 U.S. Liberty Wheat Penny, a coin that's more than just a piece of history. It's a rare find that could be worth a fortune. Stick with us as we explore the intriguing details behind this little coin, its history, and why it could be sitting in your collection or hiding in a jar somewhere, waiting to make you a small fortune. The U.S. Liberty Wheat Penny, minted between 1909 and 1958, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and coin enthusiasts. Known for its iconic wheat stalks on the reverse side and the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, this penny series is deeply intertwined with American history. The 1945 version, in particular, is unique for several reasons and continues to be one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. Let's start by going back to the year 1945. The United States was at the tail end of World War II, a time when the nation was focused on both victory abroad and rebuilding at home. The economy was shifting as the country emerged from wartime production, and the government was beginning to mint coins with the need for a steady flow of currency. The 1945 wheat penny was part of this post-war coinage, and while millions were produced, this particular penny would go on to become much more valuable in the future. Now, you might be thinking, what makes the 1945 wheat penny so special? After all, pennies are one of the most common coins in circulation, right? Well, the truth is, it's all about rarity and condition. Like many coins from the era, most of the 1945 pennies saw heavy circulation and were subject to the wear and tear of everyday use. So, it's no surprise that finding one in excellent condition is a rare event. As with many other coins, the key to determining its value is how well it has been preserved over the years. What sets the 1945 wheat penny apart is that very few of them have survived in mint or uncirculated condition. Most were used in daily transactions and became worn down over time. However, in the world of coin collecting, the condition of the coin is everything. A coin in pristine condition, one that has been carefully stored and preserved, holds much more value than its heavily circulated counterparts, but that's not all. Some 1945 wheat pennies have unique features or errors that can dramatically increase their value. For instance, some pennies from this year were struck with slight minting errors, such as double dies or other imperfections that make them even more valuable. Error coins are often highly coveted because they are rare and can be the centerpiece of any collection. If you happen to have a 1945 wheat penny with one of these rare minting errors, you could be sitting on a true treasure. Speaking of rarity, let's talk about the overall demand for the 1945 wheat penny. This coin, while not as rare as some other dates in the wheat penny series, still attracts a significant amount of attention from collectors. The number of these coins that are in excellent condition continues to dwindle, and with that, the demand for these pennies grows. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for well-preserved examples from this year, especially those that are graded by professionals as being in uncirculated or mint condition. The design of the 1945 wheat penny also plays a big role in its appeal. The image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, has been featured on U.S. pennies for over a century. Lincoln's presence on the coin serves as a reminder of the country's history and values, while the wheat stalks on the reverse side symbolize the agricultural roots that helped shape the nation. The 1945 coin carries all of this historical significance, making it a valuable piece not only for its rarity but also for its connection to America's past. Now, we've been talking about how rare and valuable this coin can be, but just how much can a 1945 U.S. Liberty wheat penny really be worth? If you've got one of these pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a potential gold mine. In fact, some of the rarest 1945 wheat pennies have sold for astronomical prices at auction. If you're lucky enough to own one in exceptional shape, or even better, one with a minting error, you could be looking at a value of $160,000. Yes, that's right, $160,000 for a single coin. It's truly remarkable to think that a penny, which was once just everyday currency, can now command such a high price. So, what does this mean for you? If you've been collecting coins for years, or if you happen to come across a 1945 wheat penny in your change, it's worth taking a closer look. Check the condition carefully and see if there are any noticeable minting errors. You just might have a rare find on your hands. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone getting started, coins like the 1945 wheat penny remind us that sometimes, the smallest pieces of history can hold the greatest value. Third expensive coin, we've got a real treat for you as we explore a coin that might be sitting in your collection or hidden in an old jar of change, the 1950 U.S. Liberty wheat penny. It's easy to overlook pennies, but this one could actually be worth a fortune, and we're going to tell you exactly why. Now, when you think of the U.S. Liberty wheat penny, you probably think of its classic design featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. This design, introduced in 1909, became an iconic symbol of American history. But what makes the 1950 wheat penny stand out in the vast sea of pennies? Well, for starters, it has something special that makes it incredibly valuable to collectors, and it's not just the age or the design. It's about rarity, condition, and the demand for well-preserved examples that have made this particular year's coin highly sought after. To understand the value of the 1950 wheat penny, let's first take a step back and look at the era when it was minted. 1950 was a year filled with transformation for the United States. The country was post-World War II, and people were optimistic as they transitioned into the 1950s. It was an era of economic growth and social change, and in the world of coins, it was also a time of minting innovation. The 1950 wheat penny, like many others from this era, was produced in large quantities. Yet, over time, the number of these coins in excellent condition has dwindled, which makes them increasingly rare and valuable. Now, let's talk about the key factors that make the 1950 wheat penny particularly valuable to collectors. The first factor, of course, is the coin's condition. Like most coins from this era, many of the 1950 wheat pennies were heavily circulated. Over time, these coins experienced wear and tear, with many suffering from scratches, discoloration, and damage. But here's the thing, coin collectors are always searching for coins in pristine condition. A 1950 penny that has been kept in mint or near mint condition is a rare find, and the demand for these coins has only increased as they become harder to come by, but it doesn't stop there. Some 1950 wheat pennies have been discovered with errors or unique characteristics that make them even more valuable. These can include things like die cracks, double dies, or slight misprints that occurred during the minting process. Coin collectors absolutely love error coins because they are so rare, and they can often fetch much higher prices than coins that were struck without flaws. If you happen to have a 1950 wheat penny with one of these minting errors, you could be sitting on a very valuable piece. One of the other big reasons that the 1950 wheat penny holds such value is the historical significance of the coin itself. The wheat penny design, which was in use from 1909 to 1958, is a piece of American numismatic history. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, honoring the 16th President of the United States. On the reverse, two stalks of wheat represent the nation's agricultural heritage. This design has become a symbol of America's past and its enduring values, and collectors find great pride in owning coins that feature this iconic imagery. If you happen to have a 1950 wheat penny, it's important to pay close attention to its condition, as this will directly impact its value. The better the condition, the more you can expect to earn from it. Many 1950 pennies are found in poor condition, making high-quality examples especially rare. If your coin is free from scratches, discoloration, and other damage, you might be holding on to a valuable treasure. Even small details like the sharpness of the wheat stalks and the clarity of Lincoln's portrait can make a big difference when determining the value of your coin. So, let's get to the real question you've probably been asking: just how much is a 1950 wheat penny worth? The truth is, it depends on the condition of the coin, and whether it has any unique errors or features. If you have a well-preserved example of the 1950 wheat penny, one that's been carefully stored and protected, it could be worth much more than you might have expected. In fact, the price for an uncirculated 1950 wheat penny with no minting errors can range from a few $100s to several thousand. However, if your coin has one of the rare minting errors that collectors crave, you could be looking at an even higher price. But here's the jaw-dropping part: for a truly pristine 1950 wheat penny, you could see the value skyrocket to a mind-blowing $140,000. Yes, that's right, $140,000 for a single coin. It's unbelievable to think that something as small and humble as a penny could hold such immense value, but that's the power of rarity, condition, and collector demand. It's proof that sometimes, the most unassuming items can turn out to be incredibly valuable treasures. So, if you have a collection of old pennies, or you come across a 1950 wheat penny while digging through some loose change, take a moment to check its condition. You might have a hidden gem on your hands. Whether it's in excellent condition, or it has a rare minting error, this little penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Now, we've got something truly special to talk about: the 1944 U.S. Liberty wheat penny. You might be wondering, what's so special about a penny? After all, it's just a 1-cent coin, right? Well, as you'll soon see, this particular penny has a fascinating story behind it and could be worth far more than you think. If you've ever wondered if the coin sitting in your collection or in your spare change jar could be worth something, this video might just open your eyes to the incredible world of rare coins and their hidden value. Let's start by looking back at 1944. The world was in the midst of World War II, and the United States was fully immersed in wartime production. This was a time when the country was making massive efforts to support the war, and the economy was largely focused on victory. Interestingly, while most industries were pushing out military supplies and war-related goods, the U.S. Mint was still hard at work producing the currency that would continue to circulate throughout the country. The 1944 wheat penny is part of that story. With millions of pennies being minted that year, many were quickly circulated and put to everyday use. But some of them, especially those from the Denver Mint, marked with the D mint mark, stand out for their rarity, condition, and potential for high value. So, what makes the 1944 wheat penny so valuable? To understand that, we need to dig deeper into its design and history. The design of the wheat penny, which was first introduced in 1909, remained in circulation until 1958. The coin features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse side, showing 2 stalks of wheat, was symbolic of the country's agricultural roots and resonated with the nation's hard-working farmers. But by the time 1944 rolled around, these pennies had become an enduring symbol of the nation's strength and resilience during the war. The 1944 wheat penny was part of a massive production run. The Denver Mint, one of the largest U.S. mint facilities, produced millions of these coins, but not all of them survived in pristine condition. Most of the 1944 pennies were used for daily transactions, leading to heavy wear and tear. Over time, as with most coins from the era, the condition of these pennies deteriorated. Finding one in excellent, uncirculated condition is now incredibly rare. Here's where things get interesting. The value of a 1944 wheat penny hinges heavily on its condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. While most 1944 pennies have been circulated and are often in poor condition, there are a few that have been carefully stored away and preserved in nearly perfect condition. These coins are worth significantly more because they are rare survivors of an era when most pennies were worn down from constant use. But there's another factor that can make this coin even more valuable: minting errors. A small number of 1944 wheat pennies were struck with subtle errors that make them highly coveted by collectors. These errors can include things like die cracks, off-center strikes, or even doubled dies. Collectors love error coins because they are one-of-a-kind, and these minting mistakes can drastically increase the coin's value. If you have a 1944 D penny with one of these rare errors, you could be holding on to a true treasure. Now, let's talk about the market for these coins. Coin collectors, investors, and dealers are constantly on the lookout for rare and valuable coins like the 1944 D Wheat Penny. Even in less than perfect condition, this coin can fetch a respectable price. However, when you find one that's been preserved in excellent condition or has a unique minting error, the price can go through the roof. And here comes the big reveal: how much is a 1944 D Wheat Penny worth? Well, if you happen to have a 1944 D penny that's in uncirculated condition, it can be worth a significant amount of money. But, if you've got one that's exceptionally rare, perhaps with a minting error or in near-perfect condition, you could be looking at an incredible value. In fact, a 1944 D Wheat Penny in top condition, or with one of those highly sought-after errors, could be worth an eye-popping $170,000. Yes, you heard that right, $170,000 for a single coin. It's incredible to think that a simple penny, one that was once used to buy a loaf of bread or a candy bar, could now command such a hefty price. That's the magic of numismatics. A coin that was mass-produced for everyday use can, over time, become a rare and valuable collector's item. So, what does this mean for you? If you've got a stash of old pennies or happen to find a 1944 D Wheat Penny among your collection, it's definitely worth taking a second look. Even if it's not in perfect condition, it could still have value. But if you've got one that's been well preserved, or perhaps one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a potential fortune. In conclusion, the 1944 D US Liberty Wheat Penny is much more than just a 1-cent coin. It's a piece of history, a reminder of a time of war and transformation in America, and a potential goldmine for collectors and investors. If you have one of these coins in your possession, don't overlook it. It might just be worth far more than you ever imagined. Last unique coin, we have a real gem to talk about, the 1957 US Liberty Wheat Penny. You might think of it as just another old penny, but trust us, it's so much more than that. This coin could be worth way more than you'd ever expect, and we're here to show you why. Now, let's rewind to 1957. This was a time of major transformation in the United States. The 1950s were a period of prosperity, with the country recovering from the turmoil of World War II and heading into a decade of economic growth. The U.S. Mint was still producing the iconic wheat penny, which had been in circulation since 1909, and in 1957, the design was still largely the same. It featured the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. It's a design that has been etched into the fabric of American history, symbolizing both the nation's agricultural roots and its pride in President Lincoln's legacy. The 1957 Wheat Penny is part of a series that became incredibly popular among collectors. But what makes this coin truly special? While most of these pennies were produced in large numbers and circulated widely, there are certain factors that make a 1957 wheat penny stand out. One key factor is the condition of the coin. Most of the 1957 pennies were worn down through years of everyday transactions, which means that finding one in exceptional condition is pretty rare. The 1957 pennies that were preserved in near-mint condition are highly sought after by collectors, and if you're lucky enough to have one, it could be worth a lot more than face value. Now, here's the thing: the value of a coin, especially one like the 1957 wheat penny, is determined by several things: rarity, condition, and any special features it might have. While millions of these pennies were minted, only a small percentage were kept in pristine condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. A penny that's been well cared for, free of scratches, discoloration, or any significant damage, is going to be much more valuable than one that has seen heavy circulation. But that's not all. In the world of coin collecting, there are a few other things that can skyrocket a coin's value, and that's the presence of mint errors. Minting errors happen when a coin is struck incorrectly during the production process, and these errors make certain coins highly collectible. With the 1957 Wheat Penny, there are a few specific errors to look out for, such as double die errors, where the image is slightly imprinted more than once, creating a distinctive look. There are also other minor imperfections that collectors love to find, as error coins are often considered rarer and more valuable than standard issue coins. Finding a 1957 Wheat Penny with one of these minting errors can greatly increase its worth. For example, if your coin has a double die or other noticeable imperfections, it could fetch a premium price on the market. But even if your 1957 penny doesn't have a mint error, if it's in excellent condition, it can still be worth a substantial amount to the right buyer. Condition plays a huge role in determining how much a coin is worth, so always check for wear and tear, and make sure your penny is stored properly to preserve its value. Now, let's talk about the demand for the 1957 Wheat Penny. While the Wheat Penny series was phased out in 1958, and was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, the demand for these older pennies has only grown over the years. Collectors often search for well-preserved examples from key years like 1957 because these coins offer a direct link to American history. Not only are they valuable because of their rarity and historical significance, but they're also a beautiful piece of artwork, reflecting the design choices of the time. The 1957 Wheat Penny is also part of the final years of the Wheat Penny series, which makes it an interesting piece for collectors who specialize in this particular era. Since it was one of the last to be produced before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial design, it holds a certain charm and nostalgia for coin collectors. It's a piece of history that marks the end of an era, but just how much could a 1957 Wheat Penny really be worth? As we've already mentioned, it depends largely on the condition of the coin. A well-preserved 1957 penny can easily be worth more than just its face value of 1 cent. In fact, a coin in mint or near mint condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if you happen to have one with a rare minting error, you could see its value go even higher. So, if you've been sitting on a collection of old pennies or you happen to come across a 1957 Wheat Penny, it's time to take a closer look. You might be surprised at what you find. Whether it's a coin that has been well taken care of or one with a rare minting mistake, this little penny might just be worth far more than you think. Now, for the big reveal, a 1957 Wheat Penny in excellent condition or with a rare error could fetch an incredible $100,000. That's right, $100,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Coins like the 1957 Wheat Penny have become valuable treasures in the world of numismatics, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. So, if you've got a 1957 Wheat Penny in your collection, don't just let it sit there. Take the time to carefully check its condition, and keep an eye out for any minting errors. If you find something special, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Thanks for joining us today as we uncovered the hidden value of the 1957 U.S. Liberty Wheat Penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their amazing worth, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our exciting future videos. Happy collecting, and we'll see you in the next one.